It doesn't have to be a bloody red ocean of cutthroat wheeling and dealing in order to be successful in the market. There are 5 steps: getting started, understanding where you are, imagining where you want to be, finding out how to get there, and making your move. Taking each of these steps into account, fulfilling them in order while working as a great team, will lead you to a blue ocean market. This is where your organization can thrive and be able to offer a quality product at a low cost with high differentiation and high value. In order to create a blue ocean shift, you have to get started with the basics. Is your organization a pioneer, settler, or migrator? A pioneer is an organization or product that is innovative and brings something new to the market. In itself, it is already in the blue ocean market to some extent because it has no real competitors. A settler is an exact opposite. This is a product or an organization that imitates what already exists. This is deep in the red ocean of competition. Then there are the migrators. These types of products and organizations offer improvements on existing organizations and products, but with no real innovation to push them to be pioneers. Once you know what type of product or organization you are, then you can begin to understand where you are and how far you'll have to move to make the blue ocean shift. You cannot make a smooth, successful shift to the blue ocean if you don't know where you are currently. That means that you and your team need to create a strategy canvas. While you are creating your strategy canvas, you are actively employing another aspect of blue ocean shift, which is the humanness component that makes such a tremendous difference in the buy-in and productivity of your team. Humanness revolves around being transparent with your intentions, providing information that explains your intents and decisions, and inviting your team to make suggestions and discover items for themselves so that they don't feel pushed into performing. The strategy canvas has the value of what you're offering from low to high on the vertical axis and then what you are offering along the horizontal axis. You set yours up along with your biggest conceivable competitor and plot it out. If the lines are too close in direction and projection, you're in a red ocean and will need to make changes. If they crisscross back and forth, you focus on the points where they differ and exploit them. In order to see what your customers are dealing with when employing your organization or using your product, you need to create a chart of pain points. This is a 36-cell graph that superficially details areas where friction arises. The columns are purchase, delivery, use, supplements, maintenance, and disposal. The rows are comprised of customer productivity, simplicity, convenience, risk reduction, fun and image, and environmental friendliness. Interviewing customers is the only way to fill out this pain point chart and get a scope for what your consumers are dealing with in areas that can be improved upon. At this point, you also need to be looking at the 3 categories of non-customers you have: the ones that you are stuck with you but would use someone else if it existed, the ones that prefer an alternative product to yours, and then the ones that could use your product but don't know you exist. By interviewing, filling out the chart, and coming together to reflect on data, you will know where you can be if you make some changes. This is the most time-consuming step in the blue ocean shift process. There are 6 paths that your team needs to follow. You should break your team up into 2 or 3 groups per path and start gathering data. Industry is the first path. What are you offering and who is your competition? Strategic groups is the next. Find what industry uses similar business models as you do and interview people who use your 2 biggest competitors to find out why and what might make them change providers. Look into your buyer group. There is a whole line that your product goes down when it's purchased. Find out your chain of buyers and figure out what obstacles they face based on the pain point chart. 2 other paths are scope of offering and offer appeal. Offers appeal to people either based on price, emotion, or use. Perhaps you can shift into more appeals. Finally, trends over time. What's your 5-plan year, and in those 5 years, what might consumers shift and do regarding interest in your product? To make your move and create a blue ocean shift, you need to do one final thing: create a blue ocean fair. This is literally a fair with booths that represent the ideas that your growth team has generated. You and your team will present your ideas for change to your stakeholders, customers, and non-customers, and have them mill around and investigate the booths. They then give their feedback regarding these booths, and you use that data to drive the changes you need to make to implement your shift. Once you make the shift, then you need to be in rapid testing and accumulating data and making the changes to make your move successful.